fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Q Show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku and Melissa. Now, in the last part, Deku took down the hero killer Stain. Tenya Ida died. And yeah, quite a bit of things are currently happening with All For One and Deku. Now, All For One's subconscious is starting to resurface. Seiso Shigaraki, he is being pulled out of the dark. Now, you do actually have Deku, who in the last part, Melissa, she did come to see him at night. And the two, they did actually talk. Deku revealing to her that he's afraid. Now, Deku, he's afraid of quite a bit of things. He worries that one day he will disappear. And all that will remain is either Yoshi or somebody else. Now, this did kind of surprise Melissa, since she can't really understand his fears, but she can tell that they are perfectly reasonable. Now, with that being said, we do actually have the next morning, where Deku and Melissa, they were currently laying in his bed. And we actually do have, let's just say, David. Now, David, he does go to get up early and get back to work. Him heading to Melissa's room to see if she's awake. Now, David would knock on the door, as he does wait for a response before at least walking in. Now, David, he does look towards Melissa's bed to say that she's actually not there, as he does just think that she might be up early. Now, David, he does just think he doesn't smell a pot of coffee. So, did she just head straight to the lab? That's strange. Now, he does actually head towards Deku's room, since he does want to check up on this boy. Now, we do actually have where David, he does go to knock on Deku's door, and there isn't really a response. Until he does continue knocking, and Deku, he does just go to somewhat sit up, and look to his right, to see that Melissa, she's leaning on his right arm and holding onto him, still asleep. Now, Deku does look towards his door, bringing up his left hand and using Black Whip, as it does fly across the room, grab the doorknob, and go to open it. Yeah, David? Young man, I was just seeing if you were up. Yeah, I'm awake. What's up? Do you happen to know where Melissa is? Oh, yeah, she's right here. I'm sorry? Now, Deku would open the door completely with Black Whip, as David is walk in and see that Melissa, she's asleep holding on to Deku. Exactly why is she in your room? She came to me last night because of her nightmares. We talked for a bit of time and she wanted to stay here. I'm still tired myself. I see. Well then. I see she's taken an interest in you. Have you taken an interest in her? Well, kind of. It's hard to say. I can't really express my emotions very well, David, but she's helping me. I feel a bit more human. but I don't know if it's a good thing. Now, David does just tell Deku that being human isn't a flaw. In fact, it's being human that makes somebody imperfect. And being imperfect is doable. Perfection is impossible. Now, Deku doesn't really understand what David is talking about, as David does go to turn around and walk away, telling Deku that as long as he does take care of her and love her, he doesn't really care what they do. However, they do need to. Deku actually going to speak up. They just slept in bed, that's it. Now, David is going to walk away, as he does somewhat just laugh to himself, thinking that that boy, he's a bit too easy. However, being emotional does suit him. Now, you do actually have Melissa, she is going to wake up, as she does sit up and Deku does actually look at her. It's morning already? Yeah, it is. How'd you sleep? Hmm? Oh, I'm okay. What about you? I'm good. Although I might take today off. Hmm? Really? Yeah. I've been told by All Might, along with many users I should. I don't really think too much about it though. I usually work out for a few hours and then I just relax the rest of the day, or I at least do try to do my job. And even then, I do try to work on and practice other quirks. Hmm. I see, so how much time does that leave for you? Not very much. Most of my free time is usually devoted to either sleeping or, well, trying to talk with Yoshi and the other users. I don't understand it though. There's one quirk I have yet to access, and that's because apparently it could be the most dangerous. However, Fa Jin. I don't understand how that quirk isn't the most dangerous. So that does tell me something about this one. It's from the second. Second? The second bearer of my quirk. One for all? Apparently his quirk is strange. It's also gotten the biggest boost from One for All in the past. Now, you do actually have where Deku, he does decide to get up. This being where he does go to stretch and just think. If One for All really has gotten so much more powerful being passed down, how dangerous is this last quirk? He should probably talk to Second about it, and ask more details about it. From what he understands, Second, from what he's been told, was going to kill Yoshi. However, he didn't, and the two went on to lead the resistance against All for One. So, the man's quirk, it's somewhat fascinating to him. He's tried asking Yoshi in 3, or Yoshi in 3rd. However, none of them want to express what it is. So, he's more or less just left in the dark for right now. And he really does not like that. Now, Deku, he does turn and watches Melissa does actually go to stand up and go to leave. As Deku does head downstairs and get some coffee and at least start to make some breakfast. Now, there actually is after breakfast, where Deku he is sitting down on the couch and at least trying to call out the users. Now, all of them do suddenly appear in front of him. And Deku he does look around and see all of them. As you actually have where Yoshi and Second are both sitting next to each other. Good. All of you are here. Not like we have much of a choice, kid. Shut up, 5. Okay. This is my concern. I believe that there's a way to take out All for One. without fighting. I am curious to hear your guys' thoughts about it. Now, Deku would explain what happened with the first encounter, and all of them they're quite surprised, looking over at one. Hmm. So, you neglected to inform us about this, right? It's not that I didn't. It's just I thought he would drop it. The boy is you, one. I doubt he would have. Maybe, but still. I believe that it's a terrible idea what you're thinking. Deku looking out over at Second. And what about it? I believe that you need to kill him. Otherwise, this won't end. You have to think. We might not get another chance like this. You're unique. You're reborn, and you're Yoshi. It is destiny that you have to kill him. You failed the first time, and fate, being the cruel woman that she is, gave you a second chance. I doubt she'll give you another one. What you need to do, Yoshi, is kill Seiso. Afterwards, things should go easy from there. Go easy? I think you're forgetting this is not my fault. But it is. And what about you, Second? From what I understand, you could have killed Yoshi the moment you saw him, but you didn't. From what I also understand, there may have been opportunities to kill All For One, but even you didn't take them, right? That is true. Yes. But don't interrupt me. I understand that Seiso, he may have been more powerful in your time. However, things are different now. Things have changed. What do you really know about him? You know All For One, not Seiso. The idea that we can help him, that we can stop him, we can get his help with this. It's all, you're just trying to preserve yourself. I'm sorry, what? You heard me, Nine. You are trying to stay alive. You want to know what he did to himself to stay alive for all this time, don't you? I am curious about it, yes. Curious or desperate to know? What are you implying? I'm implying, Nine, that you are only in this to save yourself. You're like Yoshi. I'm nothing like him. Deku slamming his hand down on the table. As Sekundas look at Deku. You're exactly like him. You look at every opportunity a certain way. You see it as you were cursed with power. That's how Yoshi was with One For All. The moment he found out that he had his own quirk, he was ecstatic about it. He was surprised, and he was also disappointed that it was useless. He thought it would be just like his brothers. Did he ever tell you that part? No, he didn't. Exactly. Did you remember that part? No. Okay. Well now, let me explain a few things. Yoshi back in our time, he loved having that quirk. He loved your little curse. And he didn't know anything really about it. Our ability. The ability to pass down our quirk. Mixing with One For All, la-di-da. You feel bad that it's going to kill you. But do you even know what happened to 4? 4? No. You do actually have the user of danger sense, who does go to look at 2. As you do actually have where 5 is going to bring his hand up, putting it on 4's shoulder. So, do you think we should tell him? Tell me what? Young man, you are in for a treat. I believe that they should explain it to you. Otherwise, things are going to get a lot more hectic for you. Your clock's already ticking with your brain. But what about your body? What? Ah, okay. That's enough. This being where number one, or one, does speak up, informing all of them that he'll tell them about that later. However, for right now, they need to figure out exactly the plan. The plan is simple. Kill him, right? That's different now. I've expressed to all of you. What if we aren't supposed to kill him? Hmm? I don't follow. What if we're not supposed to kill him? What if we're supposed to change him, bring him back, make him see a good society, a good part of it, not what he's been exposed to? All of you know exactly the mental trauma or mental distress he has with his quirk. Yet all of you treat him like a villain. He is a villain. One Yoshi. Have you ever really thought about that? How many times has he taken quirks, taken memories, taken traumas? How many times has he done that? And how long did it take before All for One did truly form? Who's to say that isn't Seiso's true identity? Who's to say All for One wasn't there creeping in the back of his mind because of what happened to both of you? What are you talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, Deku, yeah. He's trying to understand exactly what's going on with the users. Meanwhile, you actually do have Melissa and David who are studying the Nomu's brain. And we'll actually cut over to the League of Villains, where you do have All for One, or Say So, the Doctor, and Shigaraki. Now, Stain's little stunt did actually influence a few villains. Now, the whole idea from here on out is to gather allies. Now, we actually do have All for One, who him and the Doctor are currently speaking. Him hooked up to his machine as he does look back on the past. Now, this is quite interesting. The Doctor, he's talking about many different things and modifications for Nomu. Along with it, he's even going over a few plans and rough drafted ideas about what can happen very soon. Now, they're well aware that there's some event popping up for UA, or Class 1A. Now, All for One, he did fail to recruit Stain, or Shigaraki, I should say, or Tomura if you do want to be exact. Now, this was quite interesting. All for One left this to the boy, as the Doctor does think. However, he usually does take care of business like this himself. So, is he being a bit more strict with his training? Is he really trying to change this boy into the proper enemy that would be needed? If so, why now? No. The Doctor does go back to talking to All for One. As All for One, he does snap back into it, looking right at the Doctor and expressing his ideas as well. Now, we do actually have inside All for One's mind, or Seisho's mind. Now, it's a jumbled mess. Certain memories, they're fragmented. Other ones are mashed together. Some of them don't seem right to him. His name's either mispronounced or he's not who he believes himself to be. Is this what he is? A jumbled mass of other people's memories? He's all for one? He's everybody, but nobody. That makes no sense. Now, we do actually have All for One, or the proper person, Seisho, who he is just walking around what appears to be the city. And he is just thinking about how his life is currently. Now, you do actually have where he does meet with his brother. And the two, they do sit down and at least enjoy some coffee. Still, I can't believe with everything going on. It's hard to believe, right? Yeah, it's starting to get a bit worse. Do you really think that this is right? What do you mean? Well, I mean announcing myself as a freak. Oh, that. I do think so, yeah. If you can gain a following, maybe you can help your people. I don't really understand what you go through since we got separated for a bit of time. We kind of lost touch with each other, but we're here now. Okay? Thanks, Yoshi. But I'm just concerned. If people know I have the ability to take their gifts and give them to others, what would they say about me? I'm not so sure. What do you want them to say about you? I don't know. Now, Yoichi would go to stand up and walk away. As Seisho, he does feel his memory fragment. Him going to reach his hand out and reach for his brother. As you actually have where some black mist is going to wrap around his arm. And off one, he does feel a chill run down his spine. As something does grab him by his chin and go to tilt his head to the left. As his eyes do meet with a set of red. Now, the creature that does currently surround Seisho is a black mist that does take on the appearance of somebody he does know, or he is familiar with, talking about how it can't escape him. He will always be the one in the back of his own mind. He needs to go back to his cage. Otherwise, things won't turn out pretty. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.